Hollywood actors are going on strike after talks with studios broke down, joining film and television writers who have been on picket lines since May. The strike is likely to have far-reaching reverberations. It also comes as Hollywood grapples to get to grips with how technology is rapidly changing the way visual entertainment is made and watched. Actors are also seeking higher pay and safeguards against unauthorized use of their images through artificial intelligence. Good morning, I'm Abheudaya Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Kantipur Television completes 20 years of broadcasting, prioritizing truth and fact-based news and entertaining programs, commits to public concerns and good governance in the country. 27-point recommendation furnished to address issues related to cooperatives. Experts say the report benefits the operators of cooperatives instead of the victims. The Screen Actors Guild announces it will go on strike, marking the start of the largest shutdown Hollywood has seen in 40 years. More than 150,000 performers to stop work from midnight. And Jabeur and Vondrousova to clash in tomorrow's Wimbledon final. Jabeur defeats Sabalenka and Vondrousova brushes aside Svitolina to reach the title decider. Kantipur Television has completed 20 years of broadcast and enters its 21st year of broadcasting. Kantipur Television has been disseminating unbiased news based on truth and facts since its establishment in July 13, 2003. Kantipur Television, putting forth the concerns of the public, has given priority to keep all the three tiers of the government on alert and make them responsible. When Kantipur Television was established, the country was going through the armed conflict. However, the television continued to disseminate news based on truth and facts without coming under anyone's influence or pressure. Kantipur Television carried out its responsibility during the 2006 People's Movement, election of the House of Representatives, promulgation of the new constitution, and Nepal becoming a federal democratic republic country. Kantipur Television also carried out its important responsibility of raising national dignity during India's unannounced border blockade. During load shedding, which was carried out up to 18 hours, Kantipur Television even carried out a bulletin by reading the news under an oil lamp in protest of the long hours of power cuts. During the 2015 April earthquake, Kantipur Television even established a studio on the street and broadcast its bulletins from there. Kantipur Television adopted automation technology 12 years ago to broadcast news and programs according to the changing time. Kantipur Television converted its broadcast to high definition on December 13, 2017, and from last year it has been providing news and programs through digital apps, and this year has been exercising the use of multimedia. Kantipur Television has been providing news and programs 24 hours a day through YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We are always committed to bringing news with diversity to our viewers from all the 753 local levels by maintaining balance. Kantipur Television had conducted 24-hour live bulletins during the elections of the three tiers. Kantipur Television currently airs popular programs like Tough Talk, Fireside, Sorokar, Good Morning Nepal, Har Ke Hauldar, and Call Kantipur. Kantipur Television has now transformed into a public company. An application has been filed at the Securities Board of Nepal to provide shares to the public in the near future. As soon as the application is approved, shares will be provided to the public. The high-quality broadcast of Kantipur Television can be viewed live all over the world. The goodwill and trust shown to us by our viewers has given Kantipur Television more encouragement to do better in future. 19 people were injured in a bus accident this morning at Unnantis Das Dunga in Chitwan along the Narayanggarh-Mugling road section. The bus heading towards Kathmandu from Kakarvita Jhapa met with the accident when it went out of control and veered off the road some 10 meters below. According to spokesperson of the District Police Office Chitwan, Bijay Raj Pandit, out of the 40 passengers on board the bus, the 19 injured are receiving treatment at the medical college in Bharatpur. A person has been murdered with a sharp weapon at Rohtat Karkach. DSP at the area police office Garuda, Om Prakash Khanal, said that the body of Brahmadev Shah Kanu's 35-year-old son Jagannath was found at his house in Dewahi Gonahi Municipality 6. The police have informed that trained police dogs are being used to track the murderer and investigation is ongoing. The police have arrested another individual alleged of involvement in the fake Bhutanese refugee scam. A team deployed by the Kathmandu Valley Crime Division Office took into custody 59-year-old Keshav Tuladar from Sanubharang, Kathmandu yesterday. Tuladar has been sent to the District Police Circle, Kathmandu for additional investigations. The Nepal police had registered cases against 30 individuals at the District Court, Kathmandu, for their alleged involvement in the fake Bhutanese refugee scam. 16 individuals, including former Deputy Prime Minister Top Bahadur Raimaji and former Minister for Home Affairs Balkrishna Khan, are currently in judicial custody for their involvement in the scam. Construction businesses play a major role in the development of infrastructures of any country. However, more than 2,700 projects have remained stranded due to the irresponsibility of the construction businesses in Nepal. Despite the final extension of the deadline of those projects by the government last year, they have yet to gain momentum. The government has increased the deadline of such projects yet again. However, the construction businesses have taken it to protest with their additional terms and conditions. The government, which is under pressure, has neither been able to take actions against the construction businesses, nor has it been able to scrap the contract agreements. This has only led to the increase in the cost of the projects. Saying that additional time was required to complete projects, construction businesses had intensified pressure on the government, following which the government had increased the deadline by amending the public procurement regulations without additional financial burden on 4th of July last year. However, the construction businesses were not able to conclude their tasks even in the extended period of 1 year. Instead, they have again pressurized the government for another extension of the deadline. They still do not seem content with it and have resorted to protest, saying the government has changed project designs, shut down crusher industries, and not released around 50 billion rupees for completed projects. The construction businesses have also been pressurizing to increase the investment of the projects. The Council of Ministers extends deadlines of the projects on the recommendation of the Public Procurement Monitoring Office. However, the office has not conducted any study on the nature of projects requiring deadline extension of scrapping of contracts. The government has also been extending deadlines without conducting required studies. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces regarding the failure in completing development works within the deadline. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
ठेक्कापट्टा लिएको चाहिँ सम्बन्ध पक्षहरूले पनि उलाई चाहिँ समयमा सम्पन्न गराउनको लागि चासो नदिएको
नियमनकारी निकायले समयमा चासो नदिएको कारणले
निर्माण कार्य सञ्चालन गरेपछि पुनः फेरि डीपीआर तयारी गर्ने र इन्जिनियरिङ स्केचहरु फेरि पुनः तयारी गर्नुपर्ने कारणले गर्दाखेरि
बर्खा मास दिनुहुन्छ बर्खा मास यसो गरे जस्तो देखिन्छ अनि भल आउँछ बाढी पहिरोले लैजान्छ अनि फेरि बजेट माग्न पाइयो
तत्त्वमा बस्ने दलहरुको कारणले
कार्यान्वयनको पक्ष नै कमजोर भएर
इमानदारीता पूर्वक काम गर्नुपर्ने कामहरु नगरीको हुनाले हाम्रो विकास निर्माणहरु भनेको समय सम्पादन हुन सकिरहेका छैनन्
ठेकेदारहरुको त्यही कमिसन नेतालाई बुझाउनु पर्ने इन्जिनियरलाई बुझाउनु पर्ने
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What should be done to curb the losses caused by monsoon-induced disasters? Your options are A, preventive measures, B, efficient information mechanism, and C, quality infrastructures. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The task force formed for addressing the issue of the cooperative sector has furnished its final report with 27 recommendations. The report suggests recommendations including return of loans exceeding 20% by their operators and formation of a work plan for the return of deposits of depositors by 31st of July this month. However, experts have said that instead of addressing the problems of the victims, the report has come in favor of the operators of the cooperatives. Depositors of 50 cooperatives have been holding a sit-in protest in Kathmandu's Maitighar for more than 40 days as cooperatives have not returned their deposits. Following the increase of grievances from the depositors, the government had formed a task force on 8th of June, which has now furnished a final report with 27 recommendations. The task force has recommended for the formation of entities provisioned by the cooperatives regulations. Despite the arrangements in the regulations, the Credit Information Center and the Deposits and the Credit Guarantee Fund have not been formed because of the dispute between campaigners and the Department of Cooperatives. The task force has recommended for the formation of work plans for the return of deposits by tomorrow and return of deposits by mid-April 2024. However, experts have said that the recommendations furnished in the report prepared by the task force are not in favor of the victims, but in the interest of the operators of the cooperatives. Of the 30,800 cooperatives, 12 have already been declared as crisis-ridden, while around 300 cooperatives are not in the condition of returning the deposits. The umbrella organization of the chief executive officers of banks, the Bankers Association, has broken the agreement on interest rates, allowing the interest rate to be set by the market. A meeting of the association decided to break the previous agreement. Commercial banks had been providing up to 9.9% interest rate on personal fixed deposits. As the commercial banks had been setting the interest rates on deposits based on the decision of the association, interest rates of most banks were similar. Now that the agreement is no longer valid, the interest rates are to differ among banks from mid-July. Prior to this, Minister for Finance Prakash Charan Mahat had been calling for healthy competition among the banks. The Office of the Department of Immigration at the Tribhuvan International Airport in Kathmandu has returned 117 workers who were set to leave for Kuwait from the airport. The Immigration Office, which had stopped 101 workers on Wednesday, returned 16 from the airport yesterday. The office has said that the workers were returned as women were prohibited from working as domestic help in the destination country, and has added that 2 different kinds of documentations were found. According to Information Officer of the airport's Immigration Office, Janka Nath Dhakal, the workers had to be returned as their employer was not clearly identified, while the documents were suspicious. Meanwhile, the Nepal Association of Foreign Employment Agencies has criticized the Immigration Office of returning the workers with wrong intention. It's time now for the international updates. The Screen Actors Guild has announced it will go on strike, marking the start of the largest shutdown Hollywood has seen in 40 years. The union wants streaming giants to agree to a fairer split of profits and better working conditions. The walkout means that 160,000 performers will stop work at midnight local time. The Screen Actors Guild strike will begin at midnight Los Angeles time. Picketing will begin an hour later outside the California headquarters of Netflix before moving on to Paramount, Warner Brothers, and Disney. The union is also asking for a guarantee that artificial intelligence, AI, and computer-generated faces and voices will not be used to replace actors. Additionally, the Screen Actors Guild is seeking tighter regulations on self-taped auditions. It believes that home auditions unfairly pass on the cost to performers. According to a strike order published online by the Screen Actors Guild, the walkout applies to those employed acting, singing, or dancing, as well as stunt performers and those involved in puppeteering or motion capture work. The work stoppage also applies to a variety of background and promotional tasks. On Wednesday, the union, officially known as the Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, announced that it was unable to come to an agreement with the major studios. Its negotiating committee voted unanimously to recommend strike action. It means the vast majority of U.S. film and TV productions will stop. The group representing the studios, the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, said that a strike is certainly not the outcome they had hoped for, as studios cannot operate without the performers that bring TV shows and films to life. A brawl erupted in the Kosovo parliament after an opposition lawmaker threw water on the Prime Minister, Albin Kurti, while he was speaking about government measures to defuse tensions with ethnic Serbs in the country's north. Kosovo opposition parties have criticized Kurti's policies in the north, which have strained relations with key Western allies. The U.S. and the European Union have put pressure on Kurti to help calm the situation. Violence broke out in May when police-backed ethnic Albanian mayors took office after an election that the ethnic Serb majority in the area had widely boycotted. Dozens of people were injured in clashes between local Serbs and Kosovo police and NATO-led peacekeepers, fueling fears of a conflict similar to the one in 1998-99, which killed more than 10,000 people. On Wednesday, Kurti announced he would reduce the number of special police officers stationed outside 4 municipal buildings in ethnic Serb majority areas in northern Kosovo and hold new mayoral elections in each of the towns. The move has angered the opposition, who argued that Kurti experimented for months and jeopardized Kosovo's international position only to back down later. Lawmaker Mirgim Lishtaku from the Democratic Party of Kosovo approached Kurti while he was speaking and threw water at him, triggering the brawl. Earlier, Kurti's deputy, Besnik Bislimi, had torn up a drawing mocking Kurti that the opposition had given the Prime Minister. Kosovo is a former province in Serbia whose 2008 Declaration of Independence Belgrade does not recognize. Most ethnic Serbs in Kosovo also have refused to acknowledge Kosovo's statehood, which is backed by the United States and most EU nations, but not Russia and China.
Sports news.
Nepal are currently playing against Pakistan A in the ACC Men's Emerging Cup. In the match being played at the cricket ground in Colombo, Sri Lanka, Nepal are batting first after winning the toss. According to a recent update, Nepal have scored 66 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in 13 overs. Nepal are playing against experienced Pakistani players like Mohammad Wasim and Mohammad Harris. Nepal's coach Manti Desai has given rest to Sandeep Lamichhane, Deependra Singh Airi, Arif Sheikh and Karan Kesi today. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.